What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Coasters in Perspective podcast. My name is Liam Sadler, and I hope you all are having a great day. Today, again, I'm just going to be here by myself. No, I'm not going to make that sound sad. I will be joined by a future guest pretty soon in the future. I'm not going to say his name, but I guess you'll have to see. But so today I just want to talk about all the recent exciting news that has been happening in the coaster industry. I know there were some disappointment, and there are a lot of people that were applauding all these announcements. But definitely mixed emotions, I would say, would be the perfect word for all of these announcements. A lot of people did have mixed emotions about all of this news, and I kind of just want to go over it one by one with you guys. So the first really news that we got a few weeks ago was the announcement for Six Flags Fiesta Texas. I don't know. New for 2022 coaster. And this, we were all expecting to be an S&S Axis coaster. Because they were talking about theming a steampunk theme, and it was all weird, and we were like, yeah, that would go perfect with it. But no. Instead, we got the first ever B&M since 2012 at a Six Flags chain, when they had X-Flight at Six Flags Great America. And I think we were all pretty shocked by that, because Six Flags doesn't usually work with B&M. They all usually come with pretty high price tags that B&M, that Six Flags, might I say, likes to avoid. But we got the announcement of it always messes me up, Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger, a B&M dive coaster. And this is one of those smaller B&M dive coasters, around 150 feet. And I'm just going to say, I'm not one of those people who looks disappointed by this. This looks to be an absolute amazing ride. I haven't experienced a dive coaster with the vest restraints yet, but I've heard that they're pretty bad, and they're really restrictive, and the regular OTSRs, or over-the-shoulder restraints, are much better. But I don't know. I can't really share my opinion on the topic, because I haven't ridden a coaster with the vest restraints yet. I have ridden Riddler's Revenge at Six Flags New England, but I don't know. I digress. Anyway, so what a lot of people were disappointed, because they all wanted an S&S Axis coaster. I don't know when that thing is going to get built at a park, but I don't know. But I was actually really happy to see this, because for a long time, I've been really wanting B&M to work with Six Flags again, because I just think back in Six Flags' 90s, they were really overspending, might I say, with so many massive B&Ms, massive floorlesses, massive hypers, and that's eventually what led to their bankruptcy. And after their bankruptcy, they've kind of been playing it safe a lot with all their manufacturers who are really close to them and have more of a cheaper ride, such as S&S, who made the Axis coaster. So a lot of people thought that Six Flags has a super good relationship with S&S, that they would build them an Axis coaster at their test park, because Six Flags Fiesta Texas is Six Flags' test park, because they got the first ever S&S 40 free spin, and they got something else first ever, but I don't know it right off the top of my mind right now. But all I pretty much know is the free spin, and they also got one of the first RMC conversions with Iron Rattler, and it was the first ever RMC coaster to have an inversion, so that was pretty cool. And they got the first ever RMC single rail coaster with Wonder Woman Golden Lasso coaster. Now, we all thought, obviously, it was going to be an Axis coaster, but as I said earlier, it's a B&M dive. So the main selling point for this B&M dive coaster, Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger, is that 95-degree drop. And let me just say, that drop looks absolutely amazing. It's definitely going to rival the drops like SheiKra and Griffin, because they have the over-the-shoulder restraints, which provide the best airtime on a dive coaster. As I said, I haven't ridden, so I can't. It's pretty much a prediction from other people's opinions, and I don't know. The airtime could be strong enough to rival even those. So I think I already have a video on my channel going more into depth of Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger. I would love for someone to call it Diet Diabolical's cliffhanger. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. And a lot of people were disappointed since it's in the name, cliffhanger. There wasn't on the core wall. And I think, yeah, stop nitpicking. It's fine. Yeah, so those are pretty much my initial thoughts on the coaster. They advertise extreme airtime, and I hope that's true. But yeah, it obviously has an Immelman, this weird Heartline roll, 0G roll kind of thing right after that Immelman. I don't know, it looks pretty cool. But yeah, so those are pretty much my thoughts on Dr. Diabolical's cliffhanger. If you want to hear me go more in depth, it's on the channel. I talk about breaking news, new coaster announced for Six Flags Fiesta Texas. I really encourage you to go check that out. I know the audio is a bit loud, the music is a bit loud, but it's fine. Just try to pay attention to it. So yeah. Oh, and sorry if I've been sniffling a little bit. I've gotten a recent head cold recently, so just try stick with me. Try to stick with this podcast. So moving on from Dr. Diabolical's cliffhanger. Why? Anyway, it's a real tongue twister. Dr. Diabolical's cliffhanger. We are moving on to the second most recent announcement, which has bin Defiance, the new Gerstlauer roller coaster going to Glenwood Caverns Adventure Resort. I haven't actually made a video on this, so I can definitely go more in depth on this roller coaster. So, to start off, everyone, when this was announced, a record-breaking roller coaster by Gerstlauer, everyone was like, it's going to Cedar Point, it's going to Cedar Point, it's going to break their inversion record, it's going to have 15 inversions. And I also thought that too. I thought Cedar Point was going to get something. I thought it's been already too long for Cedar Point. Cedar Point fanboys are going to go crazy right now, finding out that it went to Glenwood Caverns. But I don't think anyone expected Glenwood Caverns. I think so many people, Cedar Point was the obvious guess, and some people said like maybe even Dollywood. But then again, Glenwood Caverns in the middle of nowhere. I guess it is a really cool park, but still, it's still really big surprise for many coaster enthusiasts alike. I mean, I would have guessed so many other parks before Glenwood Caverns, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people were disappointed. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of one of those people. I was really hoping it'd be, this break the Smiler record, and it'd be 15 inversions. It'd be awesome. And it said it was record breaking. The record that it holds is the largest free fall drop in the West. And Cannibal's like, am I a joke to you? So apparently Cannibal has a holding brake. So yeah, and apparently that makes it so it's the largest. And I'm not sure, is Iowa in the West? Is Iowa in the West? I'm not sure. I'm not I don't really have a map in front of me or anything, but I don't think so because the monster would eventually. But other than that, I'm a bit disappointed. I was really hoping for that 15 inversion coaster, as I said earlier, but we just gotta work with what we have, you get what you get, Anyway, so I'm trying my best to be excited about the layout we have. So apparently it takes a small left-hand turn out of the station, and then it climbs up the lift hill, and then you go. It looks to be awesome. Gave some amazing views of the mountains. So that's a really big pro of the ride. I just want to talk a bit pros and cons about this ride. Then you drop down this what looks to be an amazing drop. And it has lap bars. So that is an amazing plus in my book. Anything with lap bars is better. Maybe except Sky Rush. Oh god, Sky Rush. Anyway, moving on from that. After you plummet down that amazing drop, you go into a weird kind of top hat thing as it rises up right and then twist. Once you get to the top, it immediately twists to the left. I'm pretty sure this is an inversion. Doesn't look like it on film, but it is. Then after that, you head into turnaround, an inversion turnaround, before going into this weird 0G roll thing that leads you right into the brakes. And I'm just going to say that this is a pretty short ride, might I add, but I think it'll just be an amazing experience for anyone who gets to go there, and it will definitely bring in the crowds. And I'm sure Glenwood didn't really have the money or the space to make it any longer, so I mean, I get it. But I'm not going to lie that I'm a bit disappointed. Now, moving on from Glenwood Caverns to, speaking of the devil, Cedar Point. They just announced the closure of Wicked Twister. And might I add, I was actually pretty sad to see this. I heard great things about this ride. I have heard it has been rumored to get removed, though I really hope it gets shipped off somewhere else. It's always kind of sad to see a ride closed at some park unless it's absolutely awful. Looking at you, Mean Streak. Anyway, yeah, Mean Streak was the last coaster to close at Cedar Point. And from Mean Streak to Wicked Twister, this Wicked Twister is obviously the better ride. And I'm not going to say it's unexpected, but what I'm going to say, I'm just going to say a few things what could go in this spot and where Wicked Twister might even get shipped to. So, Wicked Twister opened as the tallest, fastest, pretty sure longest impulse coaster in the world, and since then, that record has been broken. It was in that little impulse gimmick back in the early 2000s. And yeah, and they've had it for a long time. I think it was since 2002 they've had it. And now that they're removing it, I think they're definitely going to put a new record-breaking roller coaster in that spot. A lot of people are thinking the RMC T-Rex, the GCI wooden roller coaster. But I'm definitely leaning more to a great GCI right on the beach. They could theme it to like a classic USA theme, maybe do like a boardwalk theme. That's what a lot of people are thinking, and I'm also thinking that. They could definitely relocate a few other attractions in the area to make more space. Or theme those attractions to more boardwalk attraction themes. Anyway, so I also want to talk about where this ride could be shipped to. And looking at the Cedar Fair chain, there are lots of parks, I think, that this could go to. And obviously, it's 200 feet tall. So Michigan's Adventure is ruled out because I'm pretty sure that is a height limit. And I feel like another one that needs a launch coaster that could actually get it just off the top of my head. I'm also thinking for the Cedar Fair thing, I'm thinking Worlds of Fun. They could really use a new record-breaking roller coaster. They could market it as as America's tallest and fastest impulse coaster, as the Cedar Point has been relocating it, or they could sell it off to another chain like Six Flags, and they could also give it to a park that needs it, such as Six Flags America. For me, Worlds of Fun actually makes the most sense because they don't have a launch coaster currently, and I think everyone's just crawling to get them a new coaster, even if it's a hand-me-down, and it'll be a new roller coaster nonetheless, and a record-breaking one too. So I do have a few predictions on pretty much why Cedar Point hasn't gotten a coaster in so long. Well, 3 years isn't that long, but for them it is. I think they're really building up. I think they have something massive in mind, and I think they're just building up the anticipation to get something big. And now a lot of people are still thinking the Cedar Point 15 inversion coaster, but I'm going on a limb here and saying maybe they could get the RMC T-Rex. Currently, the RMC T-Rex isn't listed because no one really wants it right now. But Cedar Point, knowing them in Cedar Fair as a whole, they like to go big or go home, and I think they're going big on this one. So that is pretty much my thoughts on the 3 new big announcements in the coaster industry right now. What did you think? What do you think of my reactions? Let me know in the comments down below. I know this is more of a shorter podcast episode, but I've been gone for 2 days. I've been in the Cape, with my family, so I haven't really had too much time to upload. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly address all of this new news, and yeah, that is pretty much the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.